NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders coming up next.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And we are underway from Commanders Field. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
To the air goes Daniels. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Here's Daniels. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Back to Robinson now on first down to the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Robinson with another carry. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 21. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They'll motion McLaurin left. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And the Commanders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Throwing now is Daniels. Being chased out left. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A first carry now. This is Williams. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. It's caught, Tolbert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it, and to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Prescott off play action. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now Daniels. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, 1st down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw is Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
3rd and 8. Here's Prescott. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The first carry for Jeremy McNichols to the 43, 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
2nd down and 8. Robinson up the middle. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 67 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. To throw is Daniels. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, 36 yards. And the Commanders lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Prescott now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Prescott. And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And, a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Play action now. Prescott. That is caught. Schoonmaker. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Daniels looking to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On play action, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Dorrance Armstrong in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Prescott from the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Commanders' offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through that.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. 57 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Robinson will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Robinson is in. Touchdown, Washington. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Gay is on for the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw, Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 21, here's 2nd down and 2. Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys are back within a score.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson in the Commander offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Here's Daniels. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. That is caught, and he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Off the play fake, Daniels. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Now Daniels. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. To the air goes Daniels. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Zach Ertz from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
They begin the drive with Williams. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Now he's loose at the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 21-yard line. 101 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Here's Prescott. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Prescott to throw it. That's over the middle to Schoonmaker. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Prescott off play action. Touchdown! Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Aubrey now for the point after. And the lead is down to 4. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Throwing now is Daniels. He finds his man complete. That's Lane. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, 34 yards. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents, and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Gay is on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cowboys offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Left side to Lamb. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Prescott now. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
the Commanders got a strong first half out of their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He was downright amazing with 3 touchdown passes and another one scored on the ground for good measure.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
To throw is Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 116 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Throwing, Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They give it to Williams, running right. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Here's 3rd and 3. Now Prescott. The Sanders has got it complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. They run the option on second down. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run it again with Williams.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll try to throw now. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Play action now, Prescott. He's got it complete to Tolbert, and he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Dak's going to keep it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott keeping it himself from 5 yards out.
And the Cowboys have taken the lead here this third quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that time, the tackle by Malik Hooker.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Daniels looking to throw.
That's going to be caught by Samuel.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards there on a Washington first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he's going to be swallowed up as he got forward for maybe a yard, and it's second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Ertz over the middle. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Here's Daniels. He'll get this complete to Sennett, the tight end.
Pulling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll motion McLaurin left. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 26.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Robinson again.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Brian Robinson Jr.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Williams to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Prescott.
Anytime the ball is thrown in the middle of the field, it's pumped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Prescott. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Off the play fake, Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 24-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Again, he'll drop to throw. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Williams again. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Javonte Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, They had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Got him in. It's Brown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Daniels.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
To the air goes Daniels.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
10 more there and another first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to the ground with Robinson.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll motion McLaurin left. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down.
Oh, and this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Gay knocks this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest to this 4th quarter.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw is Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Throwing, Prescott.
Fires a slant, complete to Tolbert.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Here's Prescott.
Outright, he finds Tolbert. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal, looking to take the lead here in the late going. Now 1st and goal. And they'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario,
and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Javonte Williams with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Cowboys have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Commanders' offense and Deebo Samuel headed back on the field. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. Finding Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. He's back to throw. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes 2nd down and 5. They'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. And what a throw that was, Charles. You think about the situation, close game, 4th quarter, rookie quarterback. He doesn't seem fazed one bit.
So much for bright lights, big city, and will he wilt? Not at all. The stage not too big, the moment not too big at all. They needed points on that series, and not only did he produce a touchdown drive, but how about finishing it off with a big play that only adds to the momentum that they've already established.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. So now, after the clutch field goal, he's back out there to boot it away in what's now a tie ball game. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. Here's 1st and 10. Now Dak. That's caught by Tolbert. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Here's Dak. Finding Tolbert here over the middle. And 5 yards. Not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. Here comes 2nd down. Prescott. And that's caught by Williams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Cowboys going to get the first chance here to search for a winner as we're back underway to start this overtime. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now here come the Cowboys. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 8. Option play. Here's Robinson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is in. They win it here in overtime. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, partner?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this all the way through. Who's going to win it? Oh, what? We're getting overtime? Great for us. A lot of tension on the field. Very tough. Not a surprise it ended with a passing touchdown. That's the way we play in the NFL. But the execution was pretty darn good.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.